how we need to express ourselves, and on the proposition side, we've heard a speech on how we need to reduce corruption, we need to reduce economic pressures on political decisions. Now, we need to balance these two and see actually which one is more important for the prosperity in each state. On the proposition side, we've told you quite a few examples of corruption being involved in political decisions, such as the Iraq War, which they said was actually untrue, and the Iraq War was perfectly justified, only that the United States of America itself has declared it unjustified, and there is a huge debate within the Bush administration and within the political leaders of the US regarding this war. Also, there are US companies, US oil companies within Iraq controlling the import and export of oil. So therefore, we cannot possibly say there has been no gain or no influence, no thank you, regarding this matter. We have told you about corruption. We have told you how it works. Companies donate money to political parties in order to gain certain favors, in order to gain certain policies passed through, in order to have their own will. No thank you. So what they are proposing basically is, instead of having the will of the people, as in everybody votes for a party, and the parties are less corrupted and they actually do what's best for the country and actually represent the will of the people, they say these parties should represent the will of private investors. Whoever has more money, no thank you, whoever has more money, whoever invests more, will be able to get their little favor across, like it's happening with banks within the United States of America. Banks control economic policies within America. Any economic decision is controlled by companies and banks within the United States. Okay.
Miss.
Yes.
Now, to think of the whole public information situation in the United States against the war in Iraq, who funded the whole idea against the war? Big companies sponsoring politicians made it possible for us to believe against the war.
Of course, and bigger companies sponsor the war itself. Oil companies, oil controls the world at the moment. Okay. Now we have told you our plan, we have told you what the problem is, we have told you how parties become dependent on these funds, and that's why they do not wish to reject corrupted money and not do favors. No, they want to be funded next year as well. They want to be funded for the next campaign as well. That's why they accept to do favors for these companies. That's why they accept to do favors for private investors. No thank you, that is how it works. And what the proposition is saying today is that we have to express ourselves. We have to express what party we care for and what party we have the same opinion and support. Well, let me just tell you this, we can support with our vote, the democratic way, the way it should be done, with our vote, not with money. That is not the democratic way. Who has the more money winning within politics is not the way it should be done. No thank you, sir. Now, we have told you other ways in which people can express themselves, such as their vote. They can become a member of the party if they actually believe in what that party is saying. They do not need to donate millions of dollars in order to influence the decisions that are being taken.
Even if all you've said thus far were true, and it would be truly insidious if it were, all you're doing is replacing the word donation with the word, here's the envelope.
Right, that is a very good point, but there is one little difference. Here is the envelope is illegal. If you get caught, you go to jail. Sponsoring is not illegal. Everybody can do it, everybody can get the will across. So it is now okay to legally bribe parties. That is the difference. It is not okay to pass the figure. It is not okay to pass the envelope under the table and say, please do my favor. That will get you into prison. That will get your company bankrupt. No, thank you. That is why we want to make this difference. State budget is not, as the proposition wanted you to know, that it's not okay to fund campaigns once every 4 years. We're talking posters, we're talking media spots. It costs a bit. It does not cost a lot. It is nothing for a state budget. Do you really want me to believe that paper, media spots, going in a van with big horn stating your political ideas costs too much for European countries, the US, Canada, Asian countries to support? And if you're going to say, no, thank you, if you're going to say something about underdeveloped countries, they get money from bigger countries anyway in order to have their elections going.
Yes.
No, thank you. Now, we have also told you about the ripple effects. That's like the effects that come once this is implemented, long-term effects, such as companies redirecting their funds. They cannot sponsor political parties. They do get taxes cut off though for sponsoring in general. Therefore, they can sponsor anything else. They can sponsor NGOs. They can give sponsorships to hospitals. They can give it nothing. They can give it to education. They can give it somewhere where it does good. And that would also help decrease corruption within countries that no thank you really need it. Now, what have we proposed today? We have told you that a state budget would be okay. It is once every 4 years. It is not every day. It is not a lot. It is posters. It will be less aggressive with campaigns. No more harassing. There will not be just one party that has a lot of money from certain companies giving you information. No. The state will fund every party. That would be easier to get more points across. You would see exactly who competes for what and what are their political ideas. Their pure political ideas, not influenced by companies. That would help more, and that would increase democracy. That would help us get to a true democracy rather than having one party, Democratic Party, Liberal Party, it doesn't even matter. One party just saying what they want, monopolizing the whole media, and it being the only idea, the only political ideas that you can hear. That's why we need to do these measures. That's why we need to increase these measures.
So if companies shouldn't get involved in the political process, maybe people should get involved in the political process, and people should just quote the doctrine from out of a book of political science.
Obviously, parties should get involved in political process. We are saying we're still maintaining campaigns, we're still informing people, we're just not making it monopolized, not making it one party saying their idea. No, we're sponsoring every one of them from the state, each and every one who get their idea across to the people, not just one. And not a corrupted one at that. You will have the will of the people. Your vote will count instead of whoever has the biggest money in their bank account getting their idea across. That is the difference. And we gave you the examples of the countries where corruption exists and where this has happened as a true fact, not as an invented. The war in Iraq has been admitted to be manipulation of sorts from oil companies. So, ladies and gentlemen, considering that we actually need to reduce corruption, and that is a bigger problem than expressing their will for money, you can do that for vote, like every other person within that state. We have told you that we need to balance democracy and make it a true democracy. We have told you that bribes are illegal, where sponsoring is now legal. That's why we need to implement this measure. So please vote for the proposition.